Okay, this is going to be a double crochet. So I've got 10 chain stitches. Let me just double count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10 chain stitches. And then I'm going to show you how to do the double crochet. So double crochet is very similar to single crochet. It's nothing fancy. It's just longer or taller. Your single crochet is going to be about 1/4 of an inch. Your double crochet is going to be about 1/2 an inch tall with this worsted weight yarn. I'm not using the proper size hook again, so it's going to be a little bigger than it normally would. Worsted weight usually asks for size H hook, and I'm using size J, so 2 sizes bigger. Okay, so let's get started. Just like the single crochet, we're gonna skip a stitch, but actually we're not just gonna skip one stitch, we're gonna skip 2 chain stitches because 2 chain stitches is the length of 1 double crochet instead of 1 chain stitch being the length of 1 single crochet. So that probably sounds really confusing. The main idea is skip 2 chain stitches. So skip the one on the hook doesn't count, that's just a loop. So skip the next one and the one after that. And so you're going to loop on, wrap around, loop on, whatever. Go through that second chain from hook, pull up a loop. So you've got 3 loops on your hook. And then you're gonna yarn on, pull through 2, and now you've got 2, pull through 2, now you've got 1, and that makes your double crochet. So move on to the next chain stitch, yarn on, pull up a loop, yarn on, pull through 2, now you've got 2, yarn on, pull through 2, now you've got 1. That double crochet is finished. I don't know if you have noticed, but the single crochet is just pull up a loop, pull through 2. That's what makes it a single. The double is, so you wrap around, pull up a loop, and then you do pull through 2, pull through 2. That's what makes it the double. So pull through 2, pull through 2. And again, this is the foundation row. Foundation row takes the longest, and it's the hardest, just because you have so little to hold on to. It's just a lot easier when you get your stitches established, you know, up a ways, and you've got a lot to hold on to, and you're, you know, in the flow of things. And so if I counted right, this should actually make 8 double crochets, but I'm going to double check that. It might be 9. Or it could be 10. And what do I know? I just have to count them. So there's your foundation row, double crochet, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because those 2 chain stitches that we skipped make that last one, so that's 9. We have 9 double crochets. So then you'll want to do one more chain in your chain row of however many you want. So if you want 10, you would do 11. Alright, so just like single crochet, you need to do some chain stitches to create that, when we flip this around, that next row, that first stitch of that next row. But so then you're going to do 2 chain stitches to make that first stitch. And then again, there are these holes. So make sure you're not going through one or the other of the loops on top, because that's something different. That would be crochet in back loop only or crochet in front loop only. You want to go through both, and how we go through both is by going through these little holes that are totally underneath that little braid. So wrap around, go through that hole, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and as you can probably tell already, this is significantly bigger than the single crochet, but it's also a lot more open. Also, I'm using a different yarn than I did for the single crochet because it was way too dark. You couldn't really see what I was talking about. Now remember how I said in the single crochet video, that the last one is always kind of difficult to find? So I actually have 2 more stitches I need to do here. And it looks like there's only room for 1, and that would be right there. So I'm going to put 1 there. But I actually need 1 more, because if I just did that one, then I would be 1 stitch short, because we've got 8 here and 9 down here, and then our scarf or whatever this is going to be would get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier, and that just looks really goofy. So I usually just go through that guy right there. There's just a single loop of yarn right there, so that's just where I usually stick my very last stitch of that row. And sometimes it's really hard to see, especially if you're working with a fluffy yarn or something. And since I'm self-taught, I don't know if that's right, but it always looks just fine. Nobody ever notices. So there you have 2 rows of double crochet.